Welcome to number 21 of Couch Coop's best couch co-op and split screen games, top 25 in all. We're going all the way down. I don't know when I'm getting to the top 10. At this rate, pretty soon. But we've got Broforce. It probably came out when I was 21. Did it come out in the 80s, did it? Actually, funny you should say that, because Broforce is all about the 80s. Four-player, 80s platform shooter. The emphasis is on the platforming just as much as the shooting. You've also got a grab mechanic. One thing needs to be explained here. This is the hardest indie game I own by a long... It's the hardest couch co-op game I own as well by a hell of a long stretch. Get this one. I've never got past the first stage, though. You can't tell them that. Okay, and I've got nothing to hide here because it was a revolution for me. I got this game free when I first got my base level machine when the PlayStation 4 came out originally. This was given to us on the store, and I was still getting used to the PSN store, and holy shit was it a lot better back then, 5, maybe 6 years ago. But this was on there. I was like, whatever, I'll just have a quick look. Played it on the one player, and I couldn't believe it. I had to keep pausing it and just saying, pinch me somebody, because it was exactly what I was looking for. I hadn't even gone to getting a mate round and enjoying all this blood and gore. I suppose I should quickly just cover its claim to fame. It's about saving people on a course that opens up new 80s iconic bros like Will Smith. But seriously, Rambo's in here, Dirty Harry's in here, Chuck Norris is in here as a chicken throwing, Stetson wearing nutcase. Little challenge, which film star is twice featured as a bro? Is not that many. You got Robocop in here as well, and you've got some amazing bosses. Difficult, frustrating, nail-bitingly tough bosses and levels. The insta-kills everywhere. One bullet, there's one bullet death. I mean, I've played a lot of video games. Nothing's prepared me for a dog to throw itself off a platform and die, then one of the other dogs noticing the corpse and going in and chowing down. That's not even us getting involved in the fight, it's just doing it on its own. That's some crazy ass stuff. Yeah, Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's the Duke Blue, because he is both Dredd, right, and Rambo. I'm assuming there's no more, because Bruce Willis is only Die Hard Bruce Willis. There isn't any, and Chuck is just that one turkey throwing thing. Why am I giving one of the most lax deep dives possible? Well, I've reviewed this game about 16 times. It will go at the top of every 4-player list I make. It will go in the top 3 of every side-scrolling platform and indie game I make, and it will go on top of just about most couch co-op lists. It's a staple. It really is spectacular. And the chain reaction effects with the pixels blowing up and barrels whizzing around and the blood flying over everyone's head, it doesn't get any better than this when it comes to a gory side-scrolling platforming game, and I have said that numerous times. I suppose it's one thing having a one-shot bullet policy on death, or even fall damage being ridiculous. What I mean is all of the levels don't really have a ground floor, so any gap is a potential instant kill. It's the boulders that you get to mid-game where if you go anywhere near below one, fire at one above your mate's head, you've just, again, insta-kill, because gravity is extremely harsh in this. It really reminds me of Boulder Dash. I know a lot of you may not remember that game, but it was like an excavation game with fixed soil. It's kind of looking in that direction sometimes, with the amount of tactics you have to use when you're burrowing through that earth. You also might be thinking this should be a hell of a lot higher than 21, and in theory it should, but when we get down to that 15 and top 10, I want them to be as modern and sort of cool and new as possible. This is nostalgia now. You're looking at an older game here. It came out in 2014, that Magic Gear. We had so much good content from Sony that went straight onto our systems as couch co-op games out of the gate. Some of my audience is newer and younger and may have only just got a system in the last couple of years and not even realised that there's a gem lying back there in 2014 in the form of Broforce. When it talks about 4-player, and it has been tested numerous times and reviewed on the channel as a 4-player, you can't tell what the hell's going on. Yeah, I mean, you saw a freeze just then with two people. People that just die and then think they're still alive because you're moving around and they haven't clocked the fact that they were knocked off the screen 10 minutes ago. Nothing stops, you see. And so 3 people, I think, is 3 experienced people, 2 noob and a vet, probably the way forward. At the time, Devolver didn't have that big a name on console games as a publisher. They were quite large on PC, and they had, of course, Hotline Miami come out, but I would have paid a lot more attention to this publisher if I'd have known how good their games are going to be in the next 5 to 10 years of them putting them together. Brilliant quality. This one is no exception, and it kind of set the bar for me. Everything else after it was never near Broforce, and its violence, its noise, its beautiful 80s aesthetic, and that 8-bit amazing destruction mechanics on everything within the level. That is just so joyous and refreshing as well. You get a lot of platformers that have got just locked, like Trine, nothing really moves. This is just complete pandemonium. If you own the game, I want you to confess in the comments exactly what level you've got to. I might ask for screenshots, but I don't think it's fair that it's just me, a couch co-op YouTuber, can't get past level 1. It's not the fact that the people I play with are inept. And when I say level 1, I mean biome 1, alright? I mean that jungle thing. I haven't got to all that Geiger stuff, and that hurts. Fury Unleashed did that, to go and put a Geiger level right down the back end. Of course you need a carrot to take you through, and nothing's better than an 8-bit Geiger carrot, but bloody hell, I don't know, I might be a 50-year-old by the time I finish this game. But you're going to finish it this week, Coop. Stop with the age jokes, mate. Because of its one-shot, one-kill policy, you kind of get a little bit stagnated sometimes as well. Because you can't shoot down, you can only go across, and you have to cause sort of booby traps and avalanches to try and get enemies below you safely sometimes. The game might implement a flying canister or some explosives, but if you've run out of grenades, you've really got to start taking loads of risks, and that's fun. You come out afterwards working out who's still alive, and things happen so quickly that it's past reaction speed. It's just blind luck that you make it through these games sometimes. It's also not for grandma or a kid's game, which again I find refreshing, especially with indie. It's cool to really indulge in some of that darker visual stuff and have those nods to all of those classic 80s action heroes. That just gives it a deeper nostalgia with me, and all of those nods and the differences in their firing patterns. RoboCop Special is actually the laser that goes and pinpoints things that you're going to fire at, a la the drug scene in the movie. What a hell of a tribute, and what a great idea to put all of this variety on the different characters. Yeah, I pinpoint a bin and a flagpole, I think, but that's by the by. The game is worth a look if it's not in your back catalogue, and if you've got 4 people, or even 3, or even 2, they've not seen this, or if you just want to try and get past level 1, stick a screenshot in my Discord, do it. I've been Couch Coop, right? See you down there.